when the night falls, the magical cat band plays tropical cumbia for us.
All right, so it's 8 a.m. in the morning. I am in Ecuador and I have such a great guest today from Taiwan, Chloe Yunong Ling. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Ivan. Thank you for having me to your podcast series. I'm really honored to be here.
Yeah,
today.
It's my pleasure. This is so amazing. I think I haven't talked to anyone from Taiwan as far as I remember in my life. So it's the first time also. A long distance podcast.
Yeah, it's very
What
much
time is it?
Right now is 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's already evening in the other part of the world. I am I live in the jungle here.
Yeah.
In the Amazon region. Is a beautiful place. Are you in Taipei or where do you live?
I'm in Taipei. It's my hometown.
It's your hometown. Born and raised in Taipei?
Yes.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when did you... So you play a very special instrument. That's what we have to say first of all. Can you tell us something about... It is called PIPA or PIPA?
PIPA.
PIPA.
Yes.
Right.
Correct.
Can you first of all tell us exactly what it is?
Okay. PIPA is kind of like 4-string instrument, similar like guitar, if you say so, and it's original from the Polish, from the mid east area, and I think from the really ancient time is that kind of like lute. L-U-T-E, it's similar like that, and the original instrument is from there, and then come to China, and then spread it out to Asia. So that's why I get to know PIPA, this instrument. So it's like kind of really Chinese traditional instrument, and
a Chinese traditional instrument. That sounds. And how did you get involved in playing the pipa?
I think when I was young, I actually started to learn how to play piano. But when I went to elementary school, I think it's quite special because like there's one Chinese orchestra in my school, and then I saw their live performance and I fell in love with the sound of the pipa. So I asked my mom if I can learn how to play it. So that's why, how I become a pipa musician.
Nice. So you just fell in love with the sound of this instrument.
Yeah, I just don't know why, or maybe just like the shape of it. It's really beautiful instrument, so I kind of really get into it.
Awesome. So you pick up your first pipa when you were... How old were you at that time?
I think it was I was at 10, around
10 years old.
Yeah, 10 years old.
Yeah, and you have just released your first album, right? Your first solo album, your debut album. What was the experience like producing such an amazing album with this traditional instrument?
Thank you so much. I think it's kind of really surprised to me because I never thought I will release an album. Yeah, and that album is kind of one of my friend in Chicago. He's the one experimental Chicago label called Monastro, and he's like thinking maybe I can go to record something, and if the recording came out great, we can put out into an album, and then it worked out. So that's why I have my first album coming out. I released it, I think it's in 2020 or 19, I forgot,
Uh-huh.
or
It says
21.
on Bandcamp says release March 1st, 2021, right?
Yeah, 21 because I forgot. It's kind of a little bit confused at that time because I recorded when I was live in Chicago. I left
Yeah.
Chicago in 2020, and we kind of prepare a mastering for half year and then coming out on 21st.
Hmm.
Yeah.
2021. So you moved to
Yeah.
Chicago. Did you study music in Chicago or?
I actually went to there for my master degree for the
Hmm.
sound art. So I kind of like I feel like I didn't study music because I feel like music is kind of more limit genre for me. So I
Hmm.
kind of look out for more like open like department. So I choose sound art. It's
Sound
like
art.
yeah, sound art. So I went to school on School of the Art Institute in Chicago.
Amazing. How long did you live there?
I lived there for 3 years.
Hmm.
2 years for school and 1 year for job, and kind of like start to playing at the improvisation scenes in Chicago. So kind of like get to know lots of great and talented musicians over there. So it's kind of really amazing journey for me.
Hmm. That's such an amazing story. Now your performance, as far as I know, involves music, but not also that, also movement, uh,
Yeah,
moments of silence, sounds, uh, light and shadow. I listened to the whole album yesterday. P
thank
Sound, by the
you.
way, is the name, right?
I actually will call it Pi sound
Pi Sound. It's
because
Pi.
yeah, Pi sound because I feel like I can use the PIPA, but
Mm-hmm.
like I use because you can saw my album name. There's also the Chinese title. I use
Mm-hmm.
like the similar sound pronunciation to pronounce the English
Mm-hmm.
title.
Mm-hmm.
So I change it a little bit. So it's called Pi Sound.
It's called Python. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's really interesting sounds.
yeah.
What was your approach when you record these tracks? Well, is there something you wanted to achieve with your sound and your art?
I think for my first album, it's kind of like um, I I feel like it's like calculate our journey improvisation journey in Chicago. Because when I went to school, start to explore what's the sound, what's the improvisation for me, and how to play improvisation. And I start thinking because I don't want to drop off my PIPA because I already learned it and play it for most of my lifetime. So I didn't want to drop it, just
Mm-hmm.
like quickly drop it. So I start thinking how the possibility of the sound, pipa sound, it would be. So that's why I added lots of like electronic things. The
Mm-hmm.
sound you listen to in the album is coming from Max MSP. It's one like audiovisual software, and I put up one patch with the audio effect and also the video effect. So if I can do the live performance, it will also have some interactive video in my background with along with my sound. So the album is only the sound effect from that patch, and I think the whole album is actually improvisation, but
Mm-hmm.
I recorded twice. So I recorded first, and then I overlap another layer the second time. So the whole album actually, I didn't. I only take one day to record it, and it just came out.
Yeah, that's really really interesting, the way the approach that you have. There's a lot of improvisation, as you said before. Can we maybe
Yeah.
break it down even a little bit more, one of your songs, and see what's going on? I
Okay.
think the song that I enjoy the most, the track, is probably BRB from the Moon. I really like that one. uh,
Yeah.
I can hear some scales. You're improvising a little bit with the pipa. Can we analyze this track a little bit? Also, I don't know if there's a story maybe behind this song. Can we talk about a little bit about the form of the song, this melody that you're playing?
Okay. Actually, I think the name, all of the name of it, I didn't really think of at that time. So it's really hard for me to really describe how it's going on and the
Hmm.
form. Sorry
Hmm.
about that.
Yeah.
Because it's all improvisation and never, I think at that time, at that moment, because in the studio, it's only me, only myself with my pipa, with my computer,
Hmm.
so I just just play it. Never think about what it just came out, and
Yeah.
the track titles, all the track title is like when I start to listen back to the track, when the engineer helped me to mastering, and I start to revisit all the track I was playing. I start thinking what it sounds like, because at the moment actually I was in quarantine, because I just got back from Chicago, and in Taiwan we have the policy we have to quarantine for 2 weeks, then I can get out to go back home actually. So at that time actually I really isolated from outside world. So it's kind of really, um I think all the title for myself is kind of like the transition statue for me a little bit, because I still isolated even
Hmm.
though I was in Taipei. But I listened back to the sound I was playing in Chicago, and I still haven't get used to back to Taiwan's life, and I haven't stepped out to like Taipei, go out to visit my friends or something, get back to Taiwan, Taiwan normal life. But I stuck in the room, just one
Hmm.
hotel room, and quarantine, and kind of still in the transition and jet lag, and still listen back to Chicago. Seems like in still in Chicago, because I wake up in Chicago time, but I actually myself me was in hotel room in Taiwan. So it's kind of awkward transition actually for me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
the all the track title is kind of like reflect how I am on it. So it's kind of I feel like it's like kind of interesting. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
So you were in Chicago right when the pandemic started?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So uh, I think it's like not 2000, 2020, right? It
Yeah.
started,
Yeah. March
and then
2020.
March, and we locked down. So I kind of like locked down there for half years, and then my visa was expired.
Hmm.
So so then I decided maybe just move back to Taiwan. And before I leave, my friend Paramount, the owner of the label, he asked me, invite me to his studio to record this album and see what's coming out. So yeah, so it's actually really right before I left Chicago. I did this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the experience of living in the USA? Was it very different for you?
I think I'm really enjoying it because it's kind of like open my mind because actually, Chicago is really big scene of the jazz
Yeah,
music and improvisation music. So
yeah,
I kind of feel like I can get to work with different musicians. So
hmm
synthesizer, like field recordings, like different noise maker. So kind of like can just like unlimited and can open to work with everyone and because they are all really great musicians, I'm really pressure to meet them. So I able to I feel like my journey in Chicago was really rich at that time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so. So, yeah, what you describe, I guess it's also exactly what we can hear in your album. For me, the
Yeah,
first
thank
word that
you.
came to my mind was actually freedom. I heard a lot of freedom
Yeah.
there. Comes from the improvisation, from being free to express the way you just like, and that's something I love about artists when I see that they are, just releasing themselves, no, in their music. So
Thank
if
you.
you are in Taipei, what's the place to go if you want to enjoy the music scene and discover bands? I mean, I can't imagine being there. I wish I could someday travel there and just explore the music scene. So what are you playing somewhere in the next couple of weeks? Or are there any shows coming?
I actually just like finished two show
Uh-huh.
in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I work with Butas dancers.
Mhm.
So I just improvise with them. One show I work with them with PIPA or only, and
Mhm.
it's kind of the contact is from the inspired from the paintings exhibition. There's one
Mhm.
like calligraphy contemporary calligraphy exhibition in Taipei. There's one place in Tea House, and the owner was my friend, and she's a Buddha dancer. So
Mhm.
we kind of like collect two Buddha dancer and two musicians, including me, and to do one show to reflect what's our feeling to those painting. So it's kind of really interesting uh, show and for me to work with Buddha dancer because we kind of like put out all different kind of music melody and their body elements include all designed in that improvisation show. It's actually all improvisation, but we did some like really simple structure to structure all the things together and come up that kind of show. And I think it's really cool one. Another one is kind of I also do the improvisation, but most of the
Mhm.
um, elements is from field recording. So I uh, not field recording and some like sampling from Ableton Live. I did lots of like different kind of synthesizer sound and play with it and put all the sample together and design all the show for one Buddha dancer too. So it's kind of all also the live performance, but I didn't work with PIPA anymore. So it's kind of separate context, but I think
Mhm.
interesting one is common point is like I all work with Buddha dancer, but I use different kind of music instrument to play with them, and I think it's quite fun, and it's also in improvisation form. So I quite like really happy. And I
Mhm.
have another show coming out this Sunday. It's at
Okay.
23rd music room in Taipei. I think it's like more like a pub or
Hmm.
like small bar in
Okay.
Taipei, and it's I feel like show is more casual. It's like several musician friends get together and put out this show. So I think it's more chill. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Awesome. So you are not under lockdown right now, right? You
No,
can
no, no, no,
people
not
can
at
go out
all.
and yeah.
Yeah,
That sounds
it's
great. So this is this Sunday, right?
yeah. That's Sunday.
Cool. So
Yeah.
you're gonna get together with other musicians and
Yeah,
something.
and some of the musicians I didn't know. I haven't met them yet, so I kind of
Okay.
really interesting, like to
Hmm.
meet them and to see how it goes. Yeah.
Hmm. That's great. So you're basically busy the whole time doing art and creating stuff, right? This is what you do for a living, right?
Actually, right now I'm due for living for like a translation, not
Hmm.
actually for the music things. Music thing is more my art project. I
Yeah.
like to spend my spare time to do
Hmm.
it, but I
Hmm.
know it's kind of hard, especially I'm really interested in improvisation, so I feel like
Yeah.
it's really hard to do for a living. So right now I kind of like uh take it easy. I still take it serious when I put out it, but I'm not really rely on to like do for to pay bills. Yeah.
Yeah. To pay bills. What are you doing? Translations, you said?
Yeah, I do learn English to traditional Chinese.
Hmm.
So most of the time, I do some like book publication or some documents or subtitling stuff. Yeah.
Nice, Chloe. And can we expect maybe a new album this year, or are you working on new
Um,
tracks?
I haven't working on new track, but I think maybe I will come up release another album. Because before I left Chicago, I
Hmm.
also play a duo with the Paramount, the Monastro labels owner.
Hmm.
We did one duo at that day, so I hope our duo album will come out this year.
That sounds amazing. That sounds
Yeah.
just great. How many people live in Taipei? Is it like a really big city?
It's actually small city, but it's
Mm.
capital city, so
Yeah,
kind of
the
most
capital.
of the um people will come here. Uh I'm not sure actually the number, but maybe around 1 million or
Mhm.
150. Yeah, I'm not sure
Yes, yes.
because
It's
that
like a nice,
yeah
uh
yeah.
like a nice small big capital.
Yeah, I guess so. It's really crowded actually.
It's crowded.
Yeah.
Do you have like so what kind of music do you listen to? So when you what's in your playlist? I was just wondering what would you what kind of music would you listen to, or
I
did you grow
think
up listening?
glow up lesson. I think I kind of open to everything. When I was
Hmm.
young, I kind of like more into classical music or
Hmm.
Chinese classical music
Hmm.
because
Well,
my background is come up from there.
yeah,
And then I think recent year I kind of really into uh, Alpha Noto. Uh, he's like there's one electronic European, like he's really famous in Europe,
hmm,
around the world, and I think there's album with let me see, because I really like his album,
hmm.
and when I need to calm down and relax, I Alpha Noto and Ryoki Sakamoto. I know their Chinese name, but I'm really bad at their uh their dual album. I really like it. When I need to work, need to concentrate, I will always put out there. Or another album I really like is uh Terry Riley. Do you know that guy?
No, no, I haven't heard of him.
Uh, there's one album is called uh Rainbow in Curved Air. I really like it too. Is he's a minimalism uh, musician back in I think in 1960 or 70,
Hmm.
and I really enjoy his music too.
Awesome. Have you ever heard of Ichiko Aoba? Maybe this Japanese singer songwriter.
I think so because I never
Ichiko.
really remember the
Mm.
the name. So
Yeah,
I I think so.
yeah, that's one you should definitely check it out. It's also very, ambient kind of music, minimalistic
Mm,
sounds. Yeah, it's
okay.
a really great album. Yeah, every year I pick like my top 20 albums of the year.
Oh,
That's
I
one.
will definitely check
My,
out.
yeah, my my best discovery last year. Yeah, I'm really interested into getting into other cultures and discovering the music to
Yeah, yeah,
understand
yeah.
the different perspectives because it's so different the approaches people have, depending on the culture where they come
Yeah, it
from.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, like here in South America and some other um, Latin American countries, it's very rhythm driven, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
People
yeah,
like
yeah,
to
yeah,
dance and
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it also depends where you go. Uh, Here in Ecuador, for example, we have different regions, right? So if you go to the coastal region,
Mm,
Pacific, you get that kind of flavor, right?
yes.
But then if you go to the mountains, the music changes radically. No, it gets more into a
Mm,
sad kind of vibe. No, also with flutes and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Are
really
there any
reflect.
other traditional instruments from China that might be interesting to check out?
I think
Other from the
because
pipa?
uh PIPA, I think there's one really great PIPA musician
Mm-hmm.
in Taiwan
Mm-hmm.
because he's also doing like interdisciplinary genre and performance. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely uh, want you to check out. It's called Zhong Yufeng. I can
Mm-hmm.
send you the
Yeah,
name
and
of
maybe we can
her.
post it in
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the podcast
definitely.
description.
Yeah, and because I'm not sure what's in China right now, but in Taiwan, I definitely really recommend her. And she worked with like different kind of like I think African music, and there's one special album from her as blue jazz.
Mm-hmm.
She
Oh, wow.
worked with blue jazz guitar, and it come out really great and really good composition and composition. So I really recommend for that one. I can send you the link to listen to it.
Yeah.
And there's another one I would like to introduce is from China.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Wuman. She's really famous pipa player around the world. Actually, she's based in America, and she's really a master of pipa,
Wow.
and she's really into pipa like the word music and how to improvisation, doing improvisation, and no matter in the classical way or word music, she's doing really well and work with really well. And so I will, yeah, those two I will really recommend.
Awesome. I haven't. Do you have a YouTube channel? Can we also check videos?
My YouTube channel,
Yeah. Or
I
do you have
never.
like videos? I'm really into visuals also.
I didn't put. I have the old one. I can send you. to check it out. But the new one I haven't put it down because I kind of like really when I back to Taiwan I kind of really focus on make livings.
Yeah,
So my art project is kind of a little bit uh put it postpone a lot. But I try to do it more this year.
yeah, that will be awesome. So
Yeah.
people can check you out and listen to your music on Bandcamp. I guess Spotify also. Can we? Where can we find
Spotify.
your music?
I think most of I think it's Bandcamp. Yeah,
Yeah,
and because I put my label take care of all the release the take care of all the album. So right now we only put on Bandcamp. Yeah,
yeah,
I hopefully we will. We haven't discussed yet, but hopefully in the future we'll put on Apple Music and Spotify. So we will looking forward to it.
yeah. Absolutely. And
Thank
people can
you.
also check out your Instagram. Oh, there are a few videos on Instagram now. I'm checking right now your
Yeah,
Instagram. Hmm.
yeah. I will put update more this year. It's
Hmm.
kind of really old right now, but my story always will put up more like update the latest information. Actually, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, watching some of the pictures are really amazing.
Thank you.
Pipa and guitar.
I think
Was this
yeah.
in in Chicago, I guess, right? You're improvising with a guitar player.
Oh, that one. Let me check.
Yeah, just looking for some context of your photos. I always like to kind of check my guests' Instagram and
It's
put some context in it. So
the
it's really interesting.
the guitar. The
Yeah.
guitar is my another project. It's dual project. It's called Ling and Macbeth. Is
Oh, you have. All right.
yeah. He's actually my friends, and this one is not blue jazz guitar.
Uh-huh.
It's just guitar, and we put out the dual improvisation, and I think work well. I can send you actually the video of our. I think it put out really great. I really miss to play with him.
That's amazing.
And
And who is responsible for the visuals in your sets when you play?
actually, myself or my
Yeah, yeah. You
friends.
do everything also. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Uh huh. So did you learn that, or it's just
I try to learn by myself.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool. So you
It's,
you you it's like a program on your computer, and you just program some visuals.
yes.
Hmm.
Uh, the program is called Max MSP. It can do the sound processing or the video processing, so I can do it together.
Oh, that's really cool. I'm really into that. I'm kind of a nerdy, techie type of guy. So when I always see people doing amazing stuff, I'm really
Thank
interested to
you.
hear that ideas. Okay, so you program all that, huh?
Yeah, I do it. So
Wow.
the video you saw, it's
Hmm.
actually all the sound is actually in my album. So
Oh,
yes, so it's the same thing, but just maybe I, when I do the live performance, I will think of some structure to play with it.
hmm,
Yeah, and I
cool.
already sent you the some video about my duo projects. So if you have time, you
Uh-huh.
can check out.
Yeah. I'm also looking so I want some context of this picture. I like this one.
Which one?
Getting this module
Yeah.
with some cables and stuff. What exactly is that? That's really cool.
Okay. The cable and the module. I think the relay module I didn't work it out quite right,
Relay
but
module, no? Yeah.
yeah. Um, because at that time I was thinking to do some installation, but the
Mm-hmm.
relay module is not really work out. But I do use I do know if you see the first picture, um, I do use that one to create my own controller, so I can like maybe do the homemade controller to control while I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't use maybe like the Notion or something, the controller mini patch. I didn't use that one. I just like made it by myself. Some like textile button, or and I can just directly attack PIPA. So I can
Mm-hmm.
just uh I think at that time for the performance uh, I stick on my pipa, so I
Mm-hmm.
hide it in the back of pipa, so the audience cannot see how I turn on the sound effect because I use the button to trigger the sound effect. And
Okay.
yeah, so I can start to structure how my performance and how my solo improvisation can edit the sound effect when I can control when it can edit. So I can just like open the computer and it's still there, but my hands just like keep playing without that the audience cannot tell when I turn on the sound effect.
Oh, okay.
So
All
kind of
right.
a
All
little
right.
bit mystery.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds amazing. I mean, I'm really looking forward uh to seeing how your exciting musical journey it's going to be in the future. Where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? Is that a question you like to answer? Maybe. Do you think about
Uh,
that future and
yes,
stuff?
I
Or
think about it. I still thinking about if there are any chance to go back to no matter US or other place like Europe to explore different kind of improvisation things over there.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, since right now the pandemic is kind of like all back to normal life, and if the summer is getting better, I was thinking maybe I can go abroad to explore the world again.
yeah, yeah. That will be great. That will be awesome. All
Yeah.
right. Listen, Chloe, I had so much fun talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. It's really my
Yeah,
pleasure to be here.
yeah. It was very nice. I always like said before, discover new music, new artists, and if there are new
Yeah,
instruments, also instrumentation that I haven't heard before, it's pretty
thank
cool. I
you.
was I was looking right now. I was just checking on YouTube. So pipa Chinese instrument. I type in there, and I see there are a
Ah.
lot of videos of people playing pipa. Right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
There's lots of like
Here is
really.
even a guy. Maybe he was. It says when rock and roll meets the Chinese lute. Have you seen that video?
Interesting.
I think crazy.
No, can you
Uh-huh.
share with me? That would be
Yeah,
pretty
I can
fun.
do that for sure. Yeah, it's crazy what we find on YouTube these days. That's pretty much
That's really cool. Can I ask how
it's
do you
definitely
find my album? How do you
on
find it?
Bandcamp. Absolutely on Bandcamp. I
Ah,
think I was checking like the.
yeah.
It was also kind of a top something summer
Okay.
vibes music or something like that, or music to listen at night or something like that.
Ah,
and then
that's
I found about you.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
So it's
you. I'm
yeah.
really
I really
honored to
enjoy.
be
I really
on
enjoy
your
listening to your album.
podcast. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, so much. I don't know if you sometimes my guests like to play a little bit at the end of the show. So if you If you're ready and if you want to play some PIPA, it will be awesome to
Play
call it a
some
day.
guitar. Can
Hmm
I play my album, or do you want to uh, test it when we're done with recording? Do you
Yeah,
think?
absolutely. I mean, right now you can maybe
Yeah,
just improvise a little bit here. No? What was
really.
actually the reaction? That was a question that I always when you tell people, for example, in Chicago or somewhere else, I played pipa. What is normally the reaction of people?
They kind of surprised and curious what the pipa is,
Yeah.
because it's still really rare to see. So
hmm
they were curious how it sounds like. But it's really interesting. I feel like it's really easy to explain, but it's really hard to imagine how it looks like. So
Yeah.
I always need to describe it as guitar. It sounds like guitar, but it's actually a little bit similar, a little bit different from guitar. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's hear some music. Let's listen to some music. Thanks so
Um,
much for being in the show. It was a pleasure.
thank, thank you. Can I
Have a
play my album?
absolutely, yeah, sure.
Okay, okay.